everyone, I'm Heather Briggs of My So Quilty Life. Welcome to my channel. I am so happy you're here. I've got a fun video planned for you today, so let's dive in. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Year of Spools April block called So Hoppy. Isn't that name so cute? I just love it. So Hoppy. Okay, so today I'll be doing a tutorial showing you how to make the girl So Hoppy block as well as the boy So Hoppy block. The only difference is their ear and head parts are different. So the girl one has a bow and the boy one does not. In the pattern, it comes with directions to make both of these. You can find your April block, the So Happy block, on my website at mysoquiltylife.com. Okay, so like I said, this pattern comes with both the girl block and the boy block. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the complete girl block first, and then I'm gonna show you how to make the boy head ears. And then everything else is the same, it's just the head and ears that are a little bit different. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that now. I'm gonna put my pattern to the side. Now, this quilt block does have a lot of pieces. So here's a tip for you. I went ahead and broke out my pieces into 3 different categories. I'll show you here. In the pattern, it starts with making the bunny girl ears and head. So I went ahead and laid out all my pieces that I need in order to do that. Those steps are on page 1 from step 2 through step 10. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay out all the pieces I need for this. You can see what pieces you need in the diagram on page 1, but I went ahead and thought this would be way easier than laying them out on a board altogether. I'm gonna go ahead and start by doing the bunny ears. The next one is the spool. So this will be the spool unit in the pattern, and then the next one are the little feet and little foot pads. So I broke it out into 3 separate sections. You'll see here that I use my little alphabetties. Love these things. These are from Fat Quarter Shop. They're by It's So Emma. I love using these with all of my patterns, so I've just very easily labeled all of my pieces for the feet. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and label all of them for this because I kind of know what I'm doing now, but I just wanted to show you these cute little alphabetties. Just in case you want to pick some up, I'll link them in the description below. So I went ahead and separated these out. This on separate design boards. This will make it much easier. We'll focus on one part of the block first, this part of the block second, and this part of the block third, and it will go together so much more smoothly and less intimidating because there are over 30 pieces. Sorry guys. Okay, so first we're gonna start. I'm gonna set all these aside. First we're gonna go ahead and pull together our bunny ears, bunny head, just bunny head and bunny ears with a bow. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do before we start anything, we're going to be drawing a diagonal line on the back of fabric F, H, J, Q, T, Y, C, C, and EE squares. Now, I use diagonal seam tape, so I am not going to be drawing mine just to save time. This is what diagonal seam tape looks like. I love this. I have it on my machine. You guys know I always talk about it in all my videos. This is what I use, so I don't draw lines. But if you do not have this, go ahead and start by drawing your lines. Step 2 is we are taking our fabric J and K. We're going to make the little bunny ears. So I'm going to set this to the side. What we're going to be doing first is assembling our fabric J squares to our fabric K rectangles. And we're going to start by just assembling 1 square on the top left corner. So I'm going to go ahead and sew on my diagonal line and cut 1/4 inch away according to my instructions, and I will be right back. Okay, I went ahead and assembled my fabric J square to the top left corner of my fabric K rectangle. I'm now going to take the remaining J squares and again sew on my diagonal line, and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished with step 2. Here are my K units. I did go ahead and kind of square up, get rid of a little bit of the extra kind of little bits I had hanging off there. After each of my steps, you will notice that there is a measurement of what your unit should measure. I always I always measure that. Every step I do, it may slow you down, but I just want to make sure that my blocks are accurate, my units are accurate when I move on to the next step. So don't forget to use those measurements each time and measure your block to make sure that it is the correct measurement. So now we're going to be moving on to step 3. So for step 3, we are taking our fabric D rectangles and assembling them to the sides of our K units. Now pay attention, you will need to make sure that you are assembling the fabric D to the right side of this K unit and the left side of this K unit. So I will do that and I will press towards the K unit and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished up step 3 and now I'm going to be moving on to step 4. So I'm going to set these little bunny ears to the side. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, so for step 4 we need our F squares, so 2 F squares, and our M rectangles. So let's see, here we have our M rectangles, and I'm actually using brown fabric instead of gray, only really because I ran out of gray, or I ran out of the gray that I wanted to use. So I thought a brown bunny would be so cute. So you're gonna take fabric F, so you have 2. One is gonna be the right side, one is gonna be the left side. And you're going to position your fabric F on M and you're gonna sew on your diagonal lines and cut a 1/4 inch away and press towards fabric F. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Okay, now I have my step 4 completed. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to step 5. So I'm gonna put these little guys to the side, just keeping them on their right and left side so I don't get them mixed up. So for step 5, we are going to be taking our other 2 J squares and our R rectangles. And again, just keeping them separated from right to left because this is the right side of the bunny and the left side of the bunny. We're gonna go ahead and position our fabric J's on our fabric R, sew on our diagonal line and cut and press, and I will do that and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished step 5 and I have my right R unit and my left. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to step 6. So for step 6, we're gonna be assembling all these little pieces together. So what we need is our fabric E, fabric F, and I'm gonna lay it out just like the diagram. We need our R unit, so the one on the left, and we need our M unit. These are what your pieces should look like. Again, we need our fabric E, our R, our M unit, and our fabric F. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to assemble these 2 together and these 2 together. We're going to press according to the instructions and then we are going to assemble the top to the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do all those steps and I will be right back with my R and L head unit. Okay, I just completed step 6. Here I have my left head unit and my right head unit. So these are really small, so just be careful. You're going slow, you're measuring after each step, and you're trimming off any excess that's sticking out. Okay, so now we are going to set these aside. So I'm just gonna set them here. Now we're gonna go ahead and make that cute little bow. So what we need are our V rectangles and our T squares. So what we're going to do, just like the diagram, is we are going to lay them on either the right side or the left side of these fabric V's, and we're going to stitch on our diagonal line according to the diagram. We are going to press out towards fabric T. So I will go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I just finished with step 7. So here are my V units. I'm now going to take my fabric S and assemble it to the bottom of my V units. So I will do that and I will press towards fabric S and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished with step 8. So here are my V units right here. So now we're going to be moving on to step 9. So I'm going to set these guys out to the side. We are going to need fabric I, W, and R. So for this one, it's simple. We are just assembling I to W and R to W. So I will go ahead and do that and I will be right back. Okay, here I have my I unit. So we are about to put it all together. So moving on to step 10, this is on page 2 now. Step 10, we're taking our D units, the I unit, the head units, and the V units, and we are going to assemble them into the bunny head unit. So we're going to lay it out just like our diagram. So we have our bunny here. So it should look just like this. So what we're going to do first is we're going to assemble these two together. Then we're going to assemble the bunny ears to the top of that unit. And then we're going to assemble all of it to this middle unit. So I will go ahead and do that and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished my bunny head unit. It looks so good. So good. I think this is the hardest part of the entire pattern. So if you breezed through this, you will be just fine. Here is my bunny head. Now we're going to be moving on to step 11. So step 11 introduces the spool unit. So I'm going to set my bunny aside here. It introduces the spool unit. So now we're going to be moving on to this unit. So what we need is, for step 11, we need fabric EE squares and fabric BB rectangles. So that is our green and our spool background. Set that up there. So what we need, and you guys, I don't recommend this. I'm using directional fabric. I don't recommend it. I'm going to get so tripped up making this cute little spool unit. So I bet some of my hearts aren't going to go the same way at the end. And you know what? It's going to be just fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to align our, these are small pieces, our fabric EE squares, and we're going to stitch on our diagonal line and press towards the indicated direction in the pattern. And then we are going to, for step 12, assemble those together. So I'm going to do that, both of those steps, and I will be right back. Okay, here we have our tiny little carrot top. So these are just the little leaves on the carrot. So now we're going to be moving on to step 13. So I can set this aside. So for step 13, we need 2 CC squares and our DD rectangle. So our DD rectangle is our carrot, little carrot. I'm trying to keep these pieces organized. So we're going to be assembling our fabric CC rectangle or CC squares on the top, sewing on our diagonal line, pressing towards CC, and then we'll be moving on to step 14. So I will do that and I will be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm so proud of myself. So I was able to make sure my hearts were going the right way. Even though you can barely see that little guy, he'll be in the seam allowance, but it's the thought that counts, right? Okay, so step 14. We're going to be sewing our Y squares to the bottom of our DD unit. So our Y squares are just these ones, and we're going to be assembling them on the bottom. So first we're going to start by assembling Y square on the bottom left. We're going to stitch on our diagonal line and press, and then we are going to, after that one has been pressed open, we are going to assemble the one on the right. So I'm going to do that and I will be right back. Okay, yay, I did it again. Okay, so now, so far so good. All my hearts are going the right way. So now for step 15, we're just taking our BB unit and our DD unit and assembling it together like this. And then for step 16, okay, for this pattern, I'm all about saving time, but like combining steps in the pattern so I'm not back and forth. So I'm gonna go ahead for step 15 and assemble these two, but I'm also gonna assemble step 16, which is assembling AA to the sides of the carrot unit. So I will do both of those and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished with step 15 and 16, and this is what I have. This looks so good. So far so good with my directional fabric, you guys. I cannot believe I chose a directional fabric. I also chose it, I don't know if you've noticed, but I also chose it for the bow, and I was able to make sure that was right. But here I didn't really care because you can barely tell what that even is, that cursive writing. Okay, so let's set this aside, our beautiful little carrot unit. And we're going to be using fabric L rectangles and fabric CC squares. So now we are just doing the little paws, the little bunny paws that are holding on to the spool. Is so cute. Okay, this is probably where I'm going to get tripped up with these little squares. I know, you guys, I know I'm going to have one piece in this block that's just not going to be facing the right way. And you know what? I'm not picking it out. I'm not going to pick it out. So it is just going to be what it is. So we're going to go ahead and in the diagram, it shows you this, but you are going to be putting them like this. So there, I'm already making myself crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our fabric CC squares on our fabric L. We're going to assemble those on the diagonal line and then press towards fabric CC. So I'm going to do that and I will be right back, trying not to trip myself up that they actually go this way. Okay, I just finished with step 17. So here we have, all right, I did it. My little things, my little hearts are going the right way. Okay, for step 18, we're going to need these guys, these rectangles. I guess I should tell you what those are. Fabric X, not these little guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to be assembling fabric X rectangles to our little L units. So again, just assembling and they will look like this. So I will go ahead and do that and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished with step number 18, and I think it is safe to say I am past the point of not being able to match up that directional fabric. So I think we're good there. So now we're going to move on to step 19. For step 19, we're just taking our carrot unit and those cute little paws, the X units that we made, and we are going to be assembling them like this. So I will do that and I will be right back. Okay, we are just cruising along. So I just finished my step 19. Now let's move on to step 20. This one's easy. We are just assembling our fabric Z to the top and bottom of our center unit. So I will go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just finished assembling my fabric Z's to the top and bottom of my center unit. That was step 20. Now I'm going to set this aside and we're going to be moving on to step 21. So for step 21, we need our fabric U's, our fabric U rectangles, and our fabric H squares and Q squares. So just pay attention to these. This is going to be the color of the bunny for, see, I'm already putting it on wrong. Pay attention to that diagram because I'm not. So you're going to be putting the fabric Q squares on the top corners of fabric U for the bottom. So this will go down onto the bottom, and this one will be the top fabric U, and you want to put your fabric H squares on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to press and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished step 21. So here I have my U units right here. So I'm going to set those aside, just put them over here. And now we're going to finish our last part on the spool. So what we need is our fabric N rectangles and our H squares. And what we're going to do is we're just going to assemble them like the diagram. So you're going to have one on the right, one on the left, and we're going to assemble on our diagonal line and then press towards fabric H. So I will do that, and when I come back, we'll be ready to put it all together. Okay, I just finished step 22, and I lied. We actually have one more step before we can put the entire spool together. So we just need our fabric G. We're just going to assemble them to the tops like this. So I will do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, now we're moving on to step 24. So step 24, we need our N units. Help if I would put it the right way. I'm going to actually put it on my design board here. So we need our N units, our center unit. Move that over so you can see that a little better. And our bottom unit spool here and here. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. First steps, we're going to be assembling our N units to our center unit. Then we're going to be assembling our U units, this one to the top, and you know which one it is because it'll be your background fabric, and this will be your bunny fabric on the bottom. So I'm going to assemble those, press toward the instructions, and then I'm going to assemble the U's. And then we will be done with our spool unit and be moving on to our little feet. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I just finished step 24. Are you guys ready to see it? It is super cute. Here it is. Oh, this is gonna look so good. And I'm so proud of myself for having all my directional fabric go the right way. Okay, so now we're gonna set this one aside and we have one more piece to do. And it's actually the easiest one. Saved the easiest for last. So we're gonna be doing the little bunny feet now. Our instructions start with step 25 on page 3. What we need is our FF rectangles, and our T squares. And we are going to be assembling them like this. Just make sure you're paying attention to the direction in the pattern because we do need a right foot and a left foot. So this is how it is supposed to look. We're gonna sew on our diagonal line and press, and then we will move on to step 26. So I will do that and be right back. Okay, I just got done with step 25, and now we're going to be moving on to step 26. So for step 26, we're just taking our P rectangles and assembling them to the sides of our FF units. Then, I'm gonna combine steps. We're going to be assembling our fabric O to the top. So I will do that, and I will come back with my finished foot unit, and then we'll move on to step 28. Okay, I just finished with step 26 and 27. So here I have my left foot and my right foot. Next, we're going to be moving on to step 28, and we're just assembling our fabric H squares to 3 corners of our little foot unit. So again, pay attention to the placement of these. So you want one on the top, outer, and bottom outer. So you will not have a fabric H right here on these inner bottom corners. So I will go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Okay, we're officially on the home stretch. I just finished the foot unit. So now we are going to move on to step 29. For step 29, we are just going to assemble our fabric C rectangles to our foot unit. So I will do that, and I'll be right back. And when I come back, we get to put the entire block together. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I just finished step 29. Here I have my finished C units. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna assemble the entire block. All the pieces are coming together. And of course, my neighbor decides he's gonna mow today. So I'm sorry if you hear mowing in the background. You probably already hear my air conditioning in the background because it is hot today. Today it's like 80 some degrees here in South Carolina. It feels great. I'm not complaining. I'm so excited to have this warm weather. But up here in my studio, I am burning up, and it doesn't help that I'm talking. So we're gonna go ahead and lay out all of our units here like this. Oh, I'm so excited to see this one come together. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is we are going to assemble our head unit, the bunny head unit, to our spool unit. So I will do that first. Then we're going to be assembling our C units to the side. Just pay attention to the placement of your little foot units here. So I'm gonna do that, both of those, and I will be right back. Okay, are you ready to see? Here she is. Oh my goodness, so cute. Okay, so the last and final step we need to do is assemble our fabric B's to the sides and fabric A to the top and bottom. So I will go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, are you ready to see my final So Hoppy girl block? This turned out so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, here it is. Oh, she looks so cute. I love her so much. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I know that this looks intimidating. So if you're intimidated to make the girl one, the girl block, don't worry, I got you covered. If you turn to page 4 in your pattern, you can make the So Hoppy boy block. Now this one, for the boy block, it will not have the bow. Okay, so if you have a little boy in your life that you want to make this cute block for, that works great too. But don't be intimidated by the girl block. But if you are, it's okay. Start with the boy block first and build up your skills. So I'm going to set her aside. She's so cute. I actually am going to show you how to make the boy ears. So I went ahead and made my spool block and my little feet block. I'm going to show you how to make the ears. So we're going to start on page 4 with step 1. So for step 1, we're going to be drawing diagonal lines on the back of 2 fabric Fs, H, J, Q, T, Y, C, C, and E, E squares. So in the pattern, I do have the cutting instructions for the boy block, so you don't have to flip back and forth. But for the boy block, I'm only showing you how to make the ears. The rest of it with the spool and the feet are the exact same, so I do have you referencing those instructions for the girl block. But first, we're going to go ahead and start with step 2. So for step 2, we need our I, so I rectangles and our J squares. And what we're going to do is we are going to assemble our J squares, similar how we did it in the girl block. So we're going to start with assembling our J square to the top left of each of our I squares. We're going to press that and then assemble our other J squares on the other side. Now I'm going to skip to step 2. So step 2, we're just assembling our remaining J squares to the bottom. Now pay close attention because we have our right ear and our left ear, and we want to make sure these are assembled correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble these, and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished step 2 of the boy bunny block and 3. So I went ahead and combined steps. So here we have our little I units. Next, we're going to be setting those aside, and we need our HH and F squares. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be positioning our F squares and sewing on a diagonal line and then pressing. For step 5, we're going to be assembling our other F squares to the side. So I'm going to combine those steps and I will be right back. Okay, I just finished steps 4 and 5. Now we're going to be setting that piece aside and assembling fabric JJ and fabric GG. So what we're going to do first is we're going to assemble GG to our I units on the right side and left side and press. Then we're going to assemble those to our JJ unit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I just finished step 6. So here we have our little bunny ears. Next, we're going to be assembling our bunny ears to our HH unit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Okay, here are my bunny boy ears and head. So now that I've finished this step, so step 7, we're moving on to step 8. And step 8 is just saying that we are going to be starting with step 11 on page 2 to make the spool and the feet. So I have already done that as I have showed. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this cute little boy and then I will be right back. You're just going to assemble everything the same way you did for the girl block. So let's lay him out. Oh, this is going to be so good. Okay, so I'm going to do that and then I'll be back with my finished boy block. Okay, I just finished the So Hoppy boy block and here he is. He turned out so adorable. I love this. I don't know which one I love better, the boy or the girl. I'm a sucker for bows, so I absolutely love bows. But this is so cute. I love this. This pattern is so much fun. I hope you enjoy making either the girl or the boy or both. If you're brave, you'll do both. I'm just kidding. It's not that hard. Now, you may be new here and may be wondering what these blocks are. The April block is So Hoppy, and I'll link in the description below the blog post talking about this block of the month I'm doing called Year of Spools. Essentially what it is each month I'm going to be releasing a monthly themed spool block that coordinates with that month. So this month is April's block and it's a bunny. Last month's block was So Lucky. It was a shamrock block. I'll link the video below to that one as well. And then February's block was a heart block called So Loving. I'll link that as well in the description below. You can find all of these blocks on my website at mysoquiltylife.com. If you join my newsletter, each time one of these blocks release, you do receive a coupon to use on that month's block. So make sure you check out the description below and sign up for my newsletter if you're not already. Don't forget to pick up this month's April block called So Happy. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. I really love doing these tutorials, and every one of my Year of Spools block will have a tutorial, so I'm so excited for May's block. I won't give a hint or give anything away, but you're gonna love it. Also, please like, share, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on those other videos. Also, feel free to leave a comment below and let me know if you're sewing along with this block of the month. I will link everything I mentioned in this video below in the description. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, guys.